guys? It's your favorite Filipino, Filipino. But happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there. Today's a special day, and you know how we started. We do our shots. Now, I can't speak Spanish, un poquito, but so good Cinco de Mayo, I'm gonna Cinco de try, yo. Are these my Cinco de five, yo? Oh, shit. Let's do this, kids. Here we go. We're not joking today. One. Woo! Hey! And we're back and we still like big butts. Today's episode is actually only coming because of all of you guys out there. We got well over 300 views, so I'm more than humbled. Super grateful for you guys, and if it wasn't for you guys, I definitely wouldn't be doing this. I just want you guys to keep in mind, I am definitely not a professional. I'm not a Michelin star chef, obviously, but I am a tres kilo. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters all around the world, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here cooking on the show, but this is a show to entertain you that I just happen to cook on, alright? But hopefully you guys have fun. Today, even though it's Cinco de Mayo, we're going to be doing something Filipino. And the reason for that, we're dedicating our second episode, which this is a big episode. We wouldn't have this episode if you guys were not down, getting entertained, laughing, supporting, calling me up. Even people I haven't spoke to in 6 months, a year, hitting me up, so excited. So really thank you guys. But today's episode is dedicated to my boy and your boy, Brian De Castro, my fellow Filipino, my kababayan here in America. You know what I'm saying? He was on a ventilator for over 3 weeks fighting COVID, and my man came out of it, and he's back, and he's bad. He's already posting DJ sets and all of that. So, Brian, this is for you, my brother. So, today, for my Filipino brother, we're doing Filipino pork barbecue. In addition to that, we got a special bonus. We also got Filipino chicken barbecue and the marinades and basting coming up. So, today's a big day. But, yo, shout out to all my Filipinos, and shout out to everybody out there that's still watching this. We definitely love you guys. Thank you, man. We're about to get this going. I'm about to show you how to do it for real, Pinoy style. Let's go. Today, again, we're doing Filipino pork barbecue, which is traditionally known as really a street food. Here in America, it's considered a party food, an event food, a holiday food. Almost every American that knows a Filipino knows about Philippine barbecue, pancit, lumpia Shanghai, the little egg rolls, all of those things. But really, this is truly a street food. A lot of you guys don't know this about me. I'm only half Filipino. My mother's from the Philippines. I lived in the Philippines when I was 13 until I was 18. My father is Italian-American from New York. And at the end of the day, I was really impacted by the Philippine culture, especially street food. And one of my favorite things out there was definitely Philippine pork barbecue. All right? So a lot of what goes into it, right, is based on the amount of food that you're actually cooking and preparing. And so what we're doing today, which you can typically find in a Walmart, a ShopRite, a Stop and Shop, but Food Bazaar, all these places, right, is a 10-pound pork shoulder or pork butt. So what we have here today is another 10-pound pork butt because we like those big butts, right? But what we also have here is 10-inch barbecue sticks, or also known as bamboo skewers. So since these are going on a grill, what you want to do is you want to take these out. You want to set them inside of water. So a good time to do that is right before you start cooking or cutting your vegetables, and also putting your marinade together, right? This marinade has to be done at least a day prior. People tell you different amounts of time. I would tell you that I would never let a marinade sit for less than 12 hours. I prefer 24-hour marinades. I just have always thought that's the best way to go to make sure everything really sits. I'm gonna have to show you guys, about the size cuts that you should be making to put onto these skewers, as well as what we're actually throwing into that marinade. All right, so really just gonna break it down for you guys today. So this is the Barbecue Bandit show, right? But one thing, since I've been talking to a lot of people ever since we put out the first video, is you kind of want to know, do you guys only want to see me barbecue? Do you want to see different recipes that I cook here in the house that you can all do while you're stuck at home in this quarantine for COVID-19? Or do you guys just want to see barbecue methods and different barbecue things? It's up to you guys, but I need you to comment below. Keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting subscribe. We're almost there, guys. We got 42. I was looking for 69. We got 42. We have over 300 views. I didn't expect more than 100. But also want to give a quick shout out, a quick thank you. Thank you to my girl, Jamie Lee, for all her patience in the world and holding it down. She's my new director, my new manager, and still the boss. I mean, that's what it is, guys. I also have to give biggest shout out to my man, Sam Book, I know him as Sal. You guys know him as Sam Book for always providing the best possible kitchen tools that I could ever need. And he always does it with a big smile on his face and teaches me everything I need to know, exactly how he designed it and to exactly how I should use it. So thank you, Sal. I also want to give a shout out to everybody that's inspired me in cooking. That's everybody from my Filipino mother to my Filipino aunt, Tita Etta. I hope you're watching. To my man Rico. I don't know if you're ever going to see this video, but I used to own a restaurant in 2009, 10, and 11. He taught me basically everything I know about all the basics of being a chef, and that's what really got me inspired. My man Jack Kim and your father, thank you guys very much for putting me on. My man Amir Ali, all the way out in Egypt right now. He used to be out here in New York and Jersey and stuff, and he taught me a lot about, working and cutting food and preparing food and all the secret ingredients. And by the way, today's pork barbecue are not just these ingredients that you're seeing right here, kids. Nope, we got some secrets for you, secret ingredients. So they may be optional to some, not to me. But here we go, guys. So we're gonna let these guys sit, those bamboo skewers, just sit in water, make sure they're actually fully covered. And then what we also need to do is make sure that we have the proper vegetables or even fruits lined up. In this particular case, since we're in America, we have limes. In the Philippines, they would be using something called calamansi, which, hey, let's take a trip down over here because I love to smuggle things from the Philippines. So I smuggled these. Whoa, hey, we got one on the floor. These are calamansis. They're essentially a baby lime. So real tiny guys. They basically look like little tiny limes, right? Here's a real lime and here's a calamansi. A lot tinier. Since I don't have a lot, I'm sorry. I'm not using it for this big recipe. So we're going to be using lime. So for this particular one with a 10 pounder or about 4 to 5 kilos of pork, if you're out in the Philippines or any countries outside the United States, they don't go by pounds, they go by kilos. You want to have at least a full lime. If you were in the Philippines, I would say somewhere around 10 calamansis would about be the equivalent. And that's pretty much what we need to get, our citric acid inside of this marinade. From there, right, we always want to use onions. So this is the smallest one that I got out of the batch, so I'm going to be using that. Now this right here, in America, we can find something called Thai chili. In the Philippines, we call this siling labuyo. Alright, so siling labuyo is basically a little tiny chili, right? These are real simple. All you got to do is just line up. In this case, we're going to use 4 for the 10 pound recipe or for the 5 kilo recipe. Basically, you just want to line these little guys up. Make sure you got them right there, right? And you just want to do a quick slice. Keep your fingers away. I like to keep gloves on at all times, right? And let that sit right back in the cup. See those little seeds right there? Those little seeds will get you. Trust me. All right? So we got those seeds ready. Little bit of basics out here, but I don't know if everybody knows how to cut an onion or not. But I'll show you my little method. I like to cut off one side. I like to keep this side so I can still hold it. I do a quick slice down so that way it makes it easy for us to take and peel that skin right off of there, right? So you want to peel that skin off, obviously, because we're not putting any skins into that marinade mix, right? So we peel this guy off. From here, what we want to do is we want to finely chop the onions. So there's a lot of different methods chopping onions. Nobody likes to cry. I mean, it is Cinco de Mayo, and I ain't trying to Cinco de cry, yo. Hope you feel me on that one, because everybody cries. Always have a little plastic bag on your counter so that way you guys can toss anything that you actually don't need anymore, or that you don't need to keep around, something like that. You want to cut a flat-ended portion so that way now you're going to place your onion down. It's not going to wobble around, right? So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to do some sideways slits, right? So these sideways slits, right? That's just step one. Whoop. From here, you want to do, so basically we did sideways slits, and now we're going to go from top to bottom, just like this, right? Top to bottom. And then from here, now we're just going to go across, right? And when you do that, as you see, now you actually have onions finely chopped. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Oh, there goes that glove, right? But nice and easy. You just want to go across that. So that's definitely more than enough. We don't need these big chunks over here, right? But this is definitely enough right here for us to put into our marinade. So everything else I had pre-laid out for all of you guys. So we have a great amount right here of brown sugar. Brown sugar is really important. So this is going about 1 full cup of brown sugar, 1 full cup of soy sauce. I like to use Kikkoman. You guys can use anything that you like out there. We got 1 full cup of vinegar, 1 full cup of a very special ingredient. Now, here in America, it's not very often you're going to be able to get your hands on some banana ketchup. Banana ketchup, something I've used before in front of you guys, right? This one is tamis anghang. Tamis anghang means sweet and spicy. Normally you can just get it sweet, but you can also just use some Heinz 57 ketchup, whatever you have available, but you always want to have ketchup in that recipe. You also always want to have your whiskey on board just in case, alright? From there, you want to have at least 4 tablespoons of some minced garlic. So I like to have my garlic. You guys sit right there. You can go to the store and get yourself some Goya minced garlic, so you're not sitting there and actually chopping cloves of garlic. But it's really up to you guys. I prefer this. I love throwing that minced garlic all over everything that I cook. Everybody knows that. And all we need is about 2 full tablespoons of that black pepper. We need a 1/3 cup of some oyster sauce, 1/3 cup of some special honey. Now, everybody has their own types of honey that they might use. My honey that I get, it comes straight from the mountains of Dominican Republic in a place called San Jose de la Mata. They're nice enough to smuggle this in their luggages whenever they come visit. That's why it's in a Gatorade bottle. But this is some actual, real, legit honey. Alright? From there, basically we just got our fresh vegetables that we're going to be using and our 10-pound pork butt. So, basically we're going to have to toss everything right inside the bowl. Ready now, Bakayo? You guys ready to go? Because here we go. This is Filipino pork barbecue marinade. And guys, I already know. Not everybody out there eats pork, so we are going to have a special chicken barbecue little bonus inside of this particular video. But basically, we want to put all of our ingredients in. This is just a small red onion. We're going to have this guy go right in there, right? From here, right, we have 1 full cup of our brown sugar, which you can get in any supermarket, in, right? From here, 1 full cup soy sauce, right in. Right, 1 full cup banana ketchup or Heinz 57 ketchup. That can go right in as well. 1 full cup of either white vinegar or even apple cider vinegar. You can use whatever you guys happen to have on hand available. 4 tablespoons of some minced garlic in, just like that. 2 full tablespoons of black pepper. Always got to keep a little spice in your life, if you know what I mean. Oyster sauce. You want to go for a 1/4 cup of oyster sauce in, right? Same amount of having your honey. Now, this particular honey, you guys can get any type of honey you like. I, in particular, happen to be very blessed to have some extended family in Dominican Republic in the mountains of San Jose de la Mata who actually smuggled this in for me from DR. Special stuff. But get it whatever type of you like. Now, the banana ketchup, by the way, you have seen this before in the first video. But if you can get to an Asian supermarket, definitely get you some UFC banana ketchup. I love this stuff. Now, there is a secret ingredient here today, which we will get to. But until then, right, we do need our citrus in here. So let's get these limes squeezed right in there, nice and easy, right? There is no seeds. There happens to be 1 lime I just dropped in there. But we got just straight lime just going right in there. Back to back to back, guys. Squeeze that whole lime right in there, right? We need those citric acids going in when we marinate our pork barbecue today. Siling laboyo or even Thai chili, just 4 little pieces chopped up nice and fine, right? And from here, basically, we got the last 2 secret ingredients. So again, not everybody is going to want to use these. I would never make it without these though. So our #1 secret ingredient in the Philippines is 7-Up. Not Sprite, not an off-brand, but 7-Up, kids. So what we need for this particular 10-pound recipe or 4 to 5 kilo recipe, we need exactly 3 cups of this. So we're just going to put that right in here. So that way we can make sure we're not overdoing it on here. Remember, we got to put a lot of pork slices into this particular marinade. So, you know, we don't want to overfill our container that we already have set up. We want to get everything just right, make this easy. But basically, we got a lot of 1 cups. We got a lot of 1/4 cups. The actual 7-Up, right? This is actually going to be, now, 3 cups. Now, I like to put about half of it in now. I like to pour some over the top. We're going to need to get our pork butt into here. Now, I'm going to show you guys in a moment exactly how we cut that up, right? It is kind of particular because you have to remember, we're just going on these little 10-inch BBQ skewers, right? So, BBQ. It's bamboo barbecue skewers. You guys think you speak English better than me, don't you? I bet you do. Look, I'm Cinco the trying, yo. Alright, so anyways, I'm going to show you guys real quick, though, how we can actually cut this perfectly. What we're looking for when we're actually putting these little skewers onto the sticks, right? And I prefer always to use a glove at least on one hand. It's totally up to you guys, right? We're going to take our piece of pork, and notice I did the vegetables first. Obviously, you don't want to cross-contaminate anything. Vegetables first in my book is always the way to go. This little guy, he can sit over here. I like to pat dry everything before I cut it. It's really up to you guys. Don't use that little excess. I already washed it off earlier. This is a full pork shoulder. We're not going to be using a lot of the skin or anything like that. We definitely don't mind pork fat. Fat is flavor, and remember that. Basically, guys, what we want to do is we just want to take nice, good chunks of our pork butt, right? And as you can see, it's a very cushiony meat. And little do you guys know, pork butt is not the pig's butt. It's actually a pork shoulder, right? But basically, you just want to take some nice slices off of it. What you're looking to do is about an inch, but about maybe a 1/4 inch to even a 1/2 inch cuts, right? So, just looking at piece right here, it's not going to ever be exactly perfect, but you just want to look for pieces that are about a 1/2 inch thick, about an inch wide. Alright guys, so we're not going to go through cutting an entire 10 pounds of pork butt, but I want you to get the idea with the slices that you're taking off of the huge pork butt. You want to just try to keep them not a precise cube. I'm almost actually prefer rectangles, but about 1 inch, 1/2 inch. Everything is always going to be imperfect, and that's just normal street food cooking, right? So now, before we put all of this meat inside of the marinade, you want to do yourself a favor, right? We have to still baste the barbecue skewers when they're on the grill. For me, obviously, I would recommend not cross-contaminating and putting your raw meats in here. So what you want to do is just save yourself. Actually, before we do that, why don't we mix it up a little, make sure we're nice and mixed, because we do have a lot of ingredients in here to give us this. Beautiful, though. Beautiful. But once you're done whisking it through, you want to save yourself about a 1/2 cup of that actual marinade. Wipe off that cup's bottom, right? And now we got that to sit for later. It won't be cross-contaminated. And now, as you move forward cutting, you can just drop in those 1 inch by about a 1/2 inch or even 1/4 inch pieces of meat. All right? So once we basically got everything all cut up, mine was a bone in, so I got the bone over here. But once you got it cut up to your roughly 1 inch by about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch pieces, just want to get everything right inside of that marinade. We're going to let this bad boy sit. In our case, we're going to let it sit overnight. So it will not be Cinco de Mayo no more. But hey, we're doing this for the Filipinos anyways today. Big shout out again to my man, Brian the Cash Show. Welcome back, man. We're glad that you fought through it and beat that COVID-19, bro. Very, very, very happy for you, man. So we're going to have our pork Filipino barbecue. You definitely want to just gently toss it around in here. Just make sure everything is nice and soaked with all the ingredients that we put in. Guys, don't forget, always check down inside of the info for the video. Just hit that down button right next to the like and subscribe buttons. But I will always give you guys the exact measurements that I've used for every recipe that I ever show you guys. Don't forget, let me know. If you guys want to know how to cook more than just barbecue with the Barbecue Bandit, I can show you Filipino food, Italian food, American food, steaks, you name it, kids. I got you. But all you got to do is comment below, give me some requests. Speaking of requests, we're going to do one thing right after this real quick, just to show you how to put together some Filipino chicken barbecue. A little bit different, very easy. Alright kids, we'll be right back. So, we got all of the pork actually marinating in the mix that we just showed you guys. Obviously, we put that 7-Up in last. Now, the next thing we're going to do is the baste, right? So, the baste is actually when we're actually barbecuing that pork. Barbecuing the skewers, we're actually going to be basting it with this special mix. So, if you guys remember, we actually saved ourselves a 1/2 cup of that marinade that the pork's sitting in right now. But before we do that, have you guys ever tried this? If you haven't, you got to. It's that Brooklyn water. So here we go. We got to do one more shot because we're against the clock. I'm not trying to keep you here all day, all night. Here we go. So just check out the info of the video. You're going to see the exact measurements of this that base that we're doing for the pork barbecue. Everything, brown sugar right in there. But like I said earlier, the one thing we're not putting in this particular base is any of that 7-Up on this particular one. Remember, we're just basting. We are adding a little bit of vegetable oil into here. And in this case, I actually decided not to use the white vinegar. I actually decided, guys, to use a little bit of some Filipino spice vinegar. Now, Filipino spice vinegar, you could just get this at any Asian market. Datu Puti is probably the main one. This might cost you somewhere around $1, literally. But it comes actually with that sile labuyo that I was talking about. This particular one has 2 pieces. I just want to take those 2 pieces out real quick and just give them a couple quick little chops in there. And then toss that in. But that vinegar is going in as well. Here we go. And always, you know, you want to whisk everything up. This is just for our base. We're going to also let that sit. Always do that the day prior to, same time that you actually make your marinade. And that way everything's going to be nice and mixed and binding real well by tomorrow. This, since you didn't have any raw pork in it, you can actually take it out and test just a little bit of it. That's always a great idea. So why don't we take a little bit of shot of that. Mine says raw onions. Actually, I got a raw onion. That was great. But wow, that's phenomenal. You might even want to pour a little bit of this in there, but that's up to you. Check out.